I watched Kaun Banegi Shikharwati a few days ago, and I'm not just saying this because I'm having a conversation with you guys, but I actually really enjoyed it. It was quirky, it was a fun ride, and I binge watched it in like, I think 2 days. So congratulations on a great hit.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you. And we appreciate your time for sure. 2 days in a watch. Yay. That's the kind of watching we want.
So I wanted to speak to you about the release, first of all. Have you guys been stalking yourself and tracking down the reviews on social media since the release?
Yes.
Yeah, we tracked it down.
Yeah, I have.
And what is the best review or comment if you've come so far?
I posted it on our group. My mother is actually my strongest critic. And I wasn't sure what she would make of this and of me. And she said that she volunteered this information. I didn't even have to remind her to watch it. And she said, oh, I'm watching KBS. And it's so much fun. And everyone is so good. And the characters are so well written, is what she said. And then we had a longer conversation, which I won't bore you with. But I was so happy to get that because, of course, reviews from people that you know and where you care about their opinion a little bit more. And, your mother is kind of important in your growth as an individual. So, I was very excited to get good feedback from her because I was going to say I often don't, but I want to say I sometimes don't.
I haven't actively actually read the reviews, but we have kind of shared a few of them on the group and they've been. But like Soha said, her mom's idea or impression of it, at least she enjoyed it. My mom enjoyed it too. And my mom is excessively critical of my work, So for her, that I'm actually really enjoying this. And for my friends, because I think people closest to you are the most honest. So I know they won't be lying to me. They're genuinely having a good time watching it. And that's most important to me. And we had a great time. So I'm okay about what the others are.
Lara, what about you?
So Nidhi, I think as important as the critic reviews are, and we always look out for them because those are the first reviews that come out, I think even more important are the genuine audience reviews and the feedback that an audience, because they at the end of the day are investing their time into watching something. And I would say that almost 98% of the audience feedback that we've received has been really, really positive. And I'm grateful for that because at the end of the day, the show was really made in a really difficult time. And it was made with the idea of being able to provide lighthearted entertainment to an audience that has had a really stressful, really anxious, really, depressing, 1.5 to 2 years. So the idea was to create lighthearted comment with a great ensemble cast that you didn't have to, kind of think too deeply about or try and figure out a storyline. You just watched it with family and friends. You had a good laugh about it.
I completely agree with you because I watched it and I put out my review as well. And I was like, this is a pure family-friendly entertainer, which I haven't seen in a very long time, which is why I was like, oh, let's just watch it. And I'm going to watch it with my husband again because he missed out on it. But I love the fact that you guys also had fun while making it. And obviously, you guys are playing some very outlandish games in the series. I would like to call it squid-esque games, not very Squid Games, because obviously Squid Games are very dark. The only reason why I'm saying this is because you guys are wearing the uniform in the last game, which was very similar to Squid Games. What was your favorite game to play on the show?
Whenever they ask us this question, I immediately go to what were my least favorite games. And because
which was your least favorite?
Because the climate was, very unforgiving. It was 50-degree heat in Rajasthan, and we were wearing many layers of costumes. I think the one where we had to plow the field and climb the mango trees and balance matkas full of water on our heads were the most physically taxing. And of course, because you see it on screen for 5 minutes, but you're doing it for days on end sometimes. So that became quite exhausting, and those were my least favorite. In terms of the most favorite, I think I had a lot of fun because I enjoy night shoots. And we did one cooking round, which was at night where, we had Maggie noodles at 4 a.m, and it was fun.
I think the Bhoot Bangla round and even the cooking round, I actually forgot about that because I also prefer night shoots. And my least favorite was the drama round, the one where we're wearing all those props and doing that. That was 110%.
Oh no, Lara, I guess you enjoyed that shoot because you were the center of attention.
Yeah, but we actually shot that scene twice over So that scene, we shot it at the Mandava Palace, and it worked out very, very differently. And then when Gaurav, our director, and the makers actually sat down and watched it, they felt that it could have been better. It should have gone slightly differently. So we actually reshot that scene and changed a lot of it around in Mumbai a couple of months later. So that, I mean, it was, and that regalia was quite a lot to get into actually, because I think I was pretty much all the jewelry that existed in Mandava in that scene. And I was just, so I mean, I would just be like, damn it, I've got to get back into this whole thing all over again. I think I would definitely say that my most favorite scene to shoot was the cooking round. It was shot through one entire night. I don't know if the girls remember, but there was like a jagrata that was happening in the village, in Mandava village. So it was really loud like that, which meant that the village was up the whole night and they were playing these really loud bhajans. And it was disconcerting for the sound department because we shot in sync sound. So we had to time our dialogues between pauses between the bhajans that were being sung. And it was pretty challenging. It was quite chaotic that night that we shot. And the best part of it was eating those Maggi noodles. So our first bowl of Maggi noodles, hasn't eaten Maggi noodles in her life, can't believe that. So yeah, that was a first for her at 4 a.m. in the morning. I think we
first and only.
First and only time? Really?
Yeah. Bye, no more Maggie.
Only with you guys.
Oh,
poor Maggie. This should not be a commercial for Maggie.
But we brought them a new customer. Hey.
But one and only. We'll do another round of Maggie, hopefully again in another season. Sure. But I want to get back to the script because it's a very experimental script. Yes, it's quirky. It can be borderline slapstick, but it isn't. There's horror, there's drama, there's a little bit of coming of age as well. And I feel like when you read such a script, obviously you read it differently as opposed to when you see it in execution. So what was about the script that attracted you the most to it and made you say yes? So we can start with you.
For me, it was just the quirky humor because, we've seen comedies on screen before, but this was really one that I thought was refreshing because of the style of humor, the dialogues, the situations, the characters, where your principal characters, are, you're sort of mocking them and making fun of them. And I thought that was fun because I quite enjoy being made fun of and making fun of people. I think it's very healthy to do that and not to take yourself too seriously. Take your work seriously, but don't always take yourself so seriously, I think. And in this show, at least none of us were taking ourselves very seriously. So I really enjoyed the spirit in which this was written.
I think when I read it for the first time, like you said, it could have been slapstick humor, but I thought the writing was very intelligent. And I love the fact that there was so much sarcasm in it because in real life, when you talk to each other and your sister especially, you're very sarcastic. There's a lot of banter and you're always kind of putting each other's leg. And it's unfiltered. Like you don't think before you say. So the kind of things that were written here, whether she was adopted or Kamini being a bit silly, and it was very real and relatable for me. And at the same time, the fact that every character was so different from the other was something that I really enjoyed while reading it. And my character, Uma especially, I don't know why, but I feel very, very close to her, even though she's so different from me and such a weirdo at times, But I love it. Like simple things like making her wear a raincoat randomly.
Oh, sorry.
So they were very experimental. They did take those risks. And I think that's why the characters are so relatable today.
I have to say, I'm the youngest in my family and the adopted jokes. Yeah, I used to face them all the time as well. So I related to that. Lara, what about you?
So for me, I think I've had a busy year. I've had a busy 2 years. And I've been very fortunate to have been able to do quite a lot of work through these 2 years. So, I've done 100, which was my OTT debut, which was a very different kind of a show, playing a cop on the screen for the first time. I played Mrs. Gandhi for Bell Bottom. I played Vasudha Rao for Hiccups and Hookups, which is again, sort of a very confused 40-year-old trying to find love again for the first time in her life. So I've done a hell of a lot. And I think when this came my way, it was quite different from the things that I'd already done on screen. So it was refreshing. I like the world that we were stepping into, this very dystopian, dysfunctional, kind of set in a little time warp, sort of a world of its own. I love the fact that it had a lot of humor in it. It had two wonderful, incredible actors that I've been wanting to work with for a really long time, with Nasir Saab and Raghuveer. And the fact that it had 4 women in it that were pretty much headlining the show, I think that's a really refreshing part of the show, that it's not riding on the shoulders of a hero. It's not formula driven. You've got, I genuinely believe that for me as a female actor, I am having the best time of my life and best time of my career right now. And I love the fact that there's content being made that speaks to the cohort or the segment of women in an audience which is between the ages of 35 and 55, because that segment hasn't really been spoken to very much at all. There hasn't been content that's been made for them. So I think this is a fantastic opportunity to be able to do that.
That's brilliant. I completely agree with you. So on a lighter note, since the show is all about playing games, shall we play a quick game here as well? Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Basically, you have to tell me the first word that comes to your mind. Be very quick about it. Okay, so Anya, we'll start with you. Shikharwati.
Very close to me.
Rajasthan.
Vibrant.
Soha, Gaurav Chawla.
Oh God, I'm so bad at this because that whole, so many words are coming in and I'm like, no, yes, no.
Just one, anyone.
Fabulous.
Anya, back to you. Ananya Banerjee.
You've taken fabulous, but really good at what she does. I know mine have been phrases as opposed to words, but she's very good at what she does.
Okay, that's fair.
Keep interesting.
Okay, awesome. Lara, your word is Soha Ali Khan.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Elegant.
Elegant.
I was like, you said elegant, and I was like, huh?
That was very elegant. Okay, Soha, the word for you. Anya Singh.
I'll call you later. Other words that come to mind. Because she keeps calling me. And I just have a problem with phone calls. And she just keeps calling me. So it'll just be like, I'll call you later.
It's so that this is how she relates to me with her phone. It's really disappointing.
I think you should call her back after this Zoom session.
I'm sure.
Anya.
I would take her advice to heart.
Anya, the word for you is Lara Dutta.
I'm in awe of her.
We're back to you, Lara, and we're missing her here today, but Kritika.
Lovable.
One thing that you wish people knew about you, what they don't already do. Soha, for you.
I'm a pretty good loser. They don't know about this. They don't know this about me because I haven't lost very often. But when and if I do lose, I will do it in very good spirits.
I don't believe
You just have to be around.
I don't think your friends agree to that. For anyone who hasn't watched the show, how would you describe it in one sentence?
A fun, great watch that you won't regret.
Hi, this is Soha Ali Khan, and if you enjoyed this conversation, please do like, share, and subscribe to Popcorn Pixel.